Happy 2025 and welcome to the Purls Pyrs podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Instagram, Pinterest. It's basically the only sort of social medias that I do. Normally I don't do show notes, but maybe I will for this one. We'll see. As the first episode of 2025, I have been wanting to do a year in review, and so I thought this would be a good time to record one. So it is the 10th of January 2025. So thank you to all returning viewers for coming back. Thank you to all new viewers for checking me out. I hope you enjoy what you see. Just a quick reminder at the top of the episode that we are an inclusive and safe space here. So not going to tolerate hate speech of any sort. And, you know, I'll moderate the comments for that. But hopefully, if you stuck with me or you found me, you're cool with that. And, you know, get something to drink, get settled in, because it's going to be quite an episode. I didn't even realize I made this much stuff in 2024. I write it down. So I write things down because I think Ravelry is kind of sucky for figuring out which projects you made when. It's just really hard to tell unless you choose to do a tag. I don't do tags. I think that's too hard for me to keep track of. So I just jot them down on a piece of paper. When I finish them, I make a little grid like this. And that's what I use. Cool. I do have sort of a knitting journal, but all that I put in it is my 12 cast-ons, which is a knit along that is going on right now till the end of January with Angela from the Yarn and Yarns podcast. Every year she casts on 12 objects between Christmas Eve and the end of January to work on throughout the next year. I do it along with her. I don't always get to 12. I don't always finish them in the year that I cast them on, but I do keep track of it. And then someday when I finish them, I go back to that set of pages and I write in my finish date on the page. So I finished 23 items in 2024, which is a lot. When I was going to gather them up, I kept thinking I was done, and then I was like, oh, really? I finished that last year? And I had to go and get another set of things. So I think I have everything other than one item, which was a gift, and it was a baby knit. I think I have everything. I don't have both socks of everything, and prepare yourselves because these socks are not clean, but they're covered in dog fur. My life is covered in dog fur. It's the Purls and Pyrs podcast, and that is why, because I have two Great Pyrenees, and they glitter my entire life. So you will enjoy seeing the Pyr glitter. If that grosses you out, I'm sorry, but this is probably not the right place for you then, because I always have fur on me in some way, shape, or form. I'm just drinking a coffee today. I had blood work this morning. Just routine stuff, not anything to be concerned about. But I couldn't eat anything until after that was done, so I ate at 11:30. I also couldn't have sweetened coffee. I could drink black coffee. I drank a little bit of it, and I had to stop because on an empty stomach, it was actually making me a little nauseous. So I'm drinking my coffee now, but it's Friday, so it's fine. I can be up really late, and I'm going to be traveling next week, so I'm kind of trying to do my laundry and stuff anyway. So it's probably going to be a late night for me. So let's dive right in. That's enough waffling. I'm going to go kind of top down on this pile because it's a mess. So we'll start with the last thing I finished in 2024, and that is these. So these are the Tinsel Mittens by Andrea Mowry. I did they're flip tops. So the pattern is for fingerless mitts or flip top mittens. I think it might also be a mitten pattern, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I went for the flip top version. These are the first flip tops that I've ever made, and I made them for my husband, Josh. I did modify them pretty darn heavily on the top because Josh is very particular and he has a weird resting hand position. I think it's weird, but it's probably not weird. It's normal for him. It's not normal for me. But my resting hand position is also very weird. And if you watched Vlogmas, I demonstrated that this is my resting hand position. Yeah, that's my resting hand position. My fingers curl up. His resting hand position is like this. So I guess we balance each other out to be that, which I guess is normal. I don't know. Anyway, so the mitten as designed has a rounded top, but he did not like all the excess fabric that was there for the pinky and stuff when he bent his hands. So I had to rip back and reknit the first top of the first mitten probably 6 times before I finally got it so that he's happy with it. If you too have a person in your life who has strangely curved inward hands, or strangely curved outward hands, then I put notes only for this top part and how I modified it on my Ravelry project page. If you can't access Ravelry, DM me, leave a message in the comments, and I'll put it up. I don't care. It'll save you ripping out and reknitting it 6 times. So it was way longer than it needed to be. I reduced a lot of length, and it also was not pointy, and he wanted it pointy. So we made it pointy for him. The yarns are Malabrigo, Silky Merino. I thought that the colorway was Chocolate Amargo. I'm completely wrong. It's not, but I don't remember what the name of it is, so it doesn't matter, does it? And the mohair that I held it double with is a Knit Picks mohair. Don't remember the name of their mohair. The colorway I think is Wildflowers. So it made this really cool effect because the Silky Merino is just like a warm chocolate brown, like a milk chocolate color. That's probably good. A milk chocolate. But the mohair was this really pretty red, purple, and kind of beigey color. So you've got some fun stuff, but it's very slight. He really loves these mitts. He's been wearing them a lot. He said they're really great for driving and when he's doing stuff with the chickens, because we have chickens. For those of you just joining us, we have 7 speckled Sussex hens, and we are getting 3 more in February, the February hatch. So whenever they arrive in the mail, we will have 3 more babies to take care of, maybe 4, because they always send you a spare one in case one dies in the mail, but we haven't had that happen yet. So we always end up with 1 extra. So anyway, we will have 10 or 11 soon. So those are the Tinsel Mitts by Andrea Mowry. If I go this slow, it will take for freaking ever to finish this podcast. All right. My next finished object is these. From far back, it doesn't look too gross and dirty, but it is. This is a dirty sock. These are socks for my son, Joshua. I knit them out of the West Yorkshire Spinners Fairy Lights colorway, and the heel toe cuff is in West Yorkshire Spinners in the chocolate lime colorway. I thought it was mint chocolate, but it's chocolate lime. They're just basic stockinette stitch socks. I use a 60 stitch sock for him. My gauge is 8 stitches per inch when I knit on 2.5 millimeter needles. So your mileage may vary. I can wear my son's socks now we have the same size foot. He's 10. All right, the next thing I have to show, I actually was able to find both of these. These are Regia Perfect, and I think this one was like neon colors or something like that. It didn't make any sense. I think it should be called like rainbow or something, but anyway, it's called neon colors. Regia Perfect is supposed to be that you can, if you start at the same point in the ball, you will end up with 2 identical socks. And I did start at the same point at the ball, and I do have 2 identical socks. These are for me. I use a 64 stitch sock, and I don't even need the pattern anymore, but this is the Vanilla Bean Socks by Emily O'Grady, who was Ooh Fancy Pants a long time ago. I don't know if she's changed her username at this point or even if she's still on Ravelry at all. But I used to watch her podcast a long, long time ago, and I learned how to knit these socks from her podcast, and I do it now. It's a free pattern, though, on Ravelry. Next up, I only have one of these, but the other one is downstairs in the basement. I need to wash socks today. These are the non-binary Pride socks. The yarn is from formerly Geektastic Fibers. Now, I think Fandoms and Fibers is the name that they rebranded to this month. God, there's a lot of hair on these. These were made for my daughter, and I knit the heel and toe in, I think it's Felici Midnight, but it could also be Patton's Croy because they're black. It's a solid black, so it looks extremely similar. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah. Fandoms and Fibers has a whole Pride collection. They sell them at most of their festivals, and they usually have pre-orders for all of them up. They definitely have them during Pride Month. I think I have 4 of their colorways now. I would like to someday have all of them, but, you know, I don't have all the money. So I've been slowly collecting them at each festival that I go to that they're at. So I have this one, the Lesbian Pride flag, the Progress Pride flag, and the Bisexual Pride flag so far. So yeah, 64 stitches, vanilla socks. Then I made another pair of socks for Joshua. He really loves the Christmas colors of the West Yorkshire Spinners, so I'm working on kind of working my way through all of them and making him a pair out of each one. But this one I specifically bought for him because for many years he would ask me to print out pictures of nutcrackers for him to color during Christmas time. He didn't ask me to do that this year, actually. But it was a many-year tradition, and he does love nutcrackers. He likes the bright colors of them. And so this was the Nutcracker colorway, and I think this was last year's, not 2024, 2023, 2023's colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. That is a freaking tongue twister. I have trouble with it every time. Also, I have a low battery. I tried to charge, but I also have to take advantage of time when I can. Oh my god. I'm dropping stuff. Okay. And I wanted to record while my husband was out getting my first child. And hopefully we'll finish before they get home. All right. So, Nutcrackers, the main colorway. Cherry Drop is the contrast color, also West Yorkshire Spinners. This was from like their first Christmas collection they ever did, and I still have a bunch of it, that contrast color. But it matches their red. Okay. And then I have the High Desert Socks. by Lindsay Fowler. I knit these out of a Patton's Croy and Plies and Hellhounds Marie Cutie held double. So these are kind of between DK weight and worsted weight socks. And I made them in the largest size for my husband. So they are massive. You can see like they're the size of my forehead. They are clean because we just did sock laundry for him. So these are clean. The colorway of Patton's Croy, I still have fur on him though, which is now in my mouth. The colorway of Patton's Croy that I used is Cadet Colors, and then the colorway of Plies and Hellhounds that I used is Deny This. The Plies and Hellhounds color, I think I held it double throughout. And I also used a different colorway for the stripes. Was it Night? I think I might have done Night, which is another Plies and Hellhounds color, because you can see the stripe is very visible. So yes, I think that's what I did. I think the cuff is all, oh my God, Patton's Croy. Then this is the Patton's Croy and Plies and Hellhounds. This is all Plies and Hellhounds. All Plies and Hellhounds. All Plies and Hellhounds for heel toe cuff. I ended up with enough Deny This left over that I have used it in one set of sock heels and toes, and I will be able to use it in one more, which is the pair of socks I'm currently working on for Joshua. I really like these. Josh loves these. He wears them on top of a normal fingering weight pair of socks when he needs his feet to be dry, like when he's snow blowing and stuff like that. This was for snow blowing, but he has also used them when he's been like outside working for a while, and he really likes them, and he asked me if I could knit him another pair, which I am happy to do, but I will probably just use held double Patton's Croy. I don't think I have any Plies and Hellhounds that I want to spare for him, but I did buy the Deny This for him for these socks. All right, I'm getting so much fur on my shirt. Excuse me, I'm also hiccuping a lot. All right, next up is a long-standing whip. These are my Goth Day Cake socks. So the main color is Goth Day Cake on, I think it was called the Wilderness base. So this is Full and Vine yarns, but it's not a base that she ever ended up carrying in the shop. I think I got it as like a one-off or whatever she used to call them. Yeah, I don't remember. Strange Brew? Maybe it was Strange Brews. Anyway, not a base that she carried ever again. But I really loved the Goth Day Cake colorway, so I bought it at the time, and I always intended to make socks out of it. It is the sock yarn base that a lot of dyers carried this many years ago, and it has mohair in it. So it's superwash merino, nylon, and mohair. They're very warm, but they don't have as much memory, but that's okay, because I intended them to be house socks, and they are. They're very nice. Here is my Deny This on the heel and toe. And like I said, I have enough left to do another pair of heels and toes on Joshua's socks. So no real notes there. They're really nice. They're warm. I like them. Good stuff. The next socks, I've got a lot of socks, guys. This was kind of the year that I was able to do a lot of socks, and that's mainly because I had a ton of like meeting time, and I also made a priority of always having a sock on the go whenever I was out of the house. So that was kind of my go-to thing, was to knit socks, and so I made a lot of socks last year. These are Woolens and Nosh in the Nevermore colorway. This was a skein of yarn that my friends Jen and Andrea bought for me and gifted to me in 2023 at Rhinebeck. This might be the only Woolens and Nosh I've finished. I have some more of it, but I don't know if I've knit any other. I don't think I have. Anyway, it's a Targhee base, so they're very thick. It's nice. I love it. I used a Patons Croix for the heel and toe in the flax colorway. Then these were also a very old skein of yarn that I got from Gabby before she was Plies and Hellhounds. These are on the Because Pumpkin Spice colorway. It is Marie Cutie. Yes, it's Marie Cutie. No real notes here. Same vanilla pattern. I tend to knit always vanilla socks, although this year I'm trying to change that. I have a couple pairs on the needles that are not vanilla, because I'm trying to knit some of my friend Lindsay's patterns. So yeah, I didn't do any contrast on these. I wanted to use all of this yarn, so I did. God, we're not even through the socks yet and they're back. Okay, these are my autumn stripe socks. I don't know what this yarn is. I got it in a package of stuff that a friend / viewer sent to me that it wasn't labeled. So I don't know what this yarn is. Oh no, it's a delivery truck. It is not them. Anyway, I used, these dogs are gonna go crazy. I used pumpkin kombucha as the contrast for the heels and one toe, because I ran out. So, whatever. You can see I started doing it for this toe also, but I ran out, so I joined the ball back again and I finished it out. And then these are another West Yorkshire Spinners colorway that I finished. These were the gingerbread colorway. I did knit 2 of these, and I think this one is Spice Market or Spice. I don't remember, but it is West Yorkshire Spinners. It's one of their solids. For heel and toe. We're almost done with socks. Almost. I had 2 of these. I don't know where the other one is. Okay. These were a finish it. So I had one of the socks was in the I Smell Snow pattern, which is a pattern by Itty Bitty Delights, Little Bitty Delights. I think it's Itty Bitty Delights. She makes stitch markers and stuff, but she also does design some socks. So I test knit for the pattern. I knit 1 sock, which was all that was required for the test knit, and then it sat in my project bag for years because it had like a snowflake pattern going down the front of it, and I'm sad that I didn't bring the second sock down so you could see that, but whatever, it's fine. But that pattern, I just wasn't into patterned socks, but I was like, these socks can't just sit here for forever. I want them because I think they're going to be really warm. So they are more of a DK weight sock. I did fingering weight plus mohair held double. This is Yarn at Home Mom in the You Made Me a Santa Burger colorway, held double with ritual dyes in onion. So this is just plain. So I made the second sock just a plain stockinette, and I finished them. So I had a nice pair of warm socks for wearing in the wintertime. And they were very nice. I finished those in January of 2024. So I used them a lot last winter. And then these are my Jinx Yarns socks in the Spoopy colorway. I finished these for some kind of spooky cowl. Maybe it was the Spooky Mal. I don't know. Anyway, they're witchy and fun. This one I know I used Felici in the Midnight colorway for the heels and toes. And then last but not least, my final pair of socks that I did for this year are the Celebration Socks. This is from the Cozy Knitter. It was a sock set from the Cozy Knitter, so the heel, toe, and cuff are in the matching mini that came with it. The yarn was a gift for my 5th podiversary from Jessica, and it sat in my stash for a long time, and I'm happy that I finished them. I wear them a ton, and I love them. So, yay. It's like my 10th podiversary now, so, you know. There's the other one. That's all my socks. Yay! I finished a crap ton of socks last year. I didn't even realize how many I finished. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee, and we're gonna move on to the pile behind me. This was surprising too, because I didn't realize that I had so many things that I finished. Let's do one more accessory, shall we? Before we move on to the big guns. Okay, so this I finished for Halloween. And it is the Witch's Brew M-Cowl by Telly Bean Knits. I knit it out of predominantly a mini skein set from Sinful Yarns that was Taylor Swift themed. So there's like Lover, Midnights, You Need to Calm Down. I don't know. I have all the colorways in my project page for this cowl. However, I did not like the, oh, this one's so scarlet it was maroon. I know that. I did not like the green. So there was kind of a green and brown colorway, which was called Into the Woods. But once I saw the motif, because I kind of was working along with the clues here and here, then I got to here and I fell a little bit behind, and I actually didn't like it here. So I subbed in my Nightmares Plus 10 leftovers from my sweater that I made out of that. And I'm so happy I did, because then it turned out there were witches' hats, and they looked great with the black. And there were these potion bottles that I think looked really good with the black. And of course these cauldrons, which also looked amazing with the black. I did run out of Lover, which I wasn't sure if I would or not. But the yardage counts were very accurate. And I was playing Yarn Chicken with the white. And Telly Bean Knits said in the pattern exactly how much for the white, and I didn't think I was going to have enough, but sometimes designers put in a like 10% fluff factor. That is not the case for Telly Bean Knits. If she does a mystery knit along, she's telling you exactly how much you need. So I didn't have enough, but that's fine, because it was a whitish color. I had a multi-colored variegated mini, you can kind of tell. So I ran out on this row, and then I just subbed in that other alternate white with speckles mini for the remainder of the potion bottles, and that was it. I was done with it at that point. So I'm perfectly happy with basically this whole motif being that alternate color. You can't really tell in person. You totally can't tell. I only know because I did it. But yeah, you would not even be able to tell at all. But just a word of caution, if you are so inclined to knit one of her mystery cowls, which I highly suggest you do, they're super fun. She does give you very accurate measurements. I learned a ton from this knit. I had never done the Eye of Newt stitch before, which is this one. It's really cool. And I hadn't done this, which ends up kind of looking like a spider web. Also very cool. So she does put a lot of different like stitch patterns and stuff in her stuff. Okay. She does put a lot of interesting stitch patterns in her patterns. So if you're kind of a more adventurous knitter, she usually does a couple of these a year. This is like her 3rd or 4th year doing a Halloween themed one. And she also did a Christmas themed one, which if you watched Vlogmas, you saw that I was working on. I kind of stalled out on Clue 8 just because Vlogmas was a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. And that's why I'm not recording my year in review until right now, because I was so sick of editing and putting my face in front of the camera that I needed a little break before I did it again. I still have footage from Christmas and a wrap up. I don't know, I might edit that and put it up at some point. I'm not sure anybody actually wants to look at Vlogmas content in January. I do, because I'm recording Vlogmas, so I only watch like 2 Vlogmases during Vlogmas time. I watched Gabby's and I watched Lindsay's. Otherwise, oh no, and I watched Sue's from Distance Stitches. But otherwise, I wait and I catch up on all of them in January because it's a lot. It's a lot of editing. So, anyway, that was my mystery cowl. Now we're on to the sweaters. I didn't even realize I finished this one last year. Okay, so first up we have the Pine Creek crop. I knit it out of the Yarn at Home Mom in the Vicious Trollop colorway. It's on her sparkle base. Shannon no longer dyes yarn, but I'm very happy that I got the stuff I got, and I am slowly but surely trying to knit it all up because I love it all and I want it to be in my wardrobe, not in my yarn cabinet. So this is a pattern by Samantha Guerin. It is a top-down lace-yoked tee. I knit it basically as the pattern called for. The only change I made is I added waist shaping, which you can see right here where my nose is. I always add waist shaping for my sweaters. I love it. I have worn this a ton. This is like probably my favorite warm weather knit of last year. Hands down. And I wear it the most next to my gray Salty Air tee, which is like my favorite summer knit of all time. Not only because of its fit, but also because gray looks good with my eyes. I have gray eyes. And so it really makes them pop. So I love wearing it for that reason. All right. Sweater number 2. This is the Seagrass tee by Woolen Pine, and I just pulled a little bit with my fingernail. Okay, so what I did is I used tons of cream backgrounded yarns to do these bands of color, and I did like, you know, roughly the same size for the stripes, so you can kind of see that there are stripes. But I think almost all of these were Adelaide Cottage minis, and there were a few Moonstone Dye Works here at the bottom. I think these were part of the Moons mini skein bundle that I had. But otherwise, I think they're Adelaide Cottage. And then this top bit right here was Hedgehog Fibers. And then the alternate color that I used and held with it, well, not really with it, it's 1x1 color work, the entire sweater. But the other color, my main color, if you will, is Hey Sister Yarn Co. in the Perfectly Pink colorway. Perfectly Pink or Perfect Pink, one of those two. Having worn this, it's not my favorite. And that's because the neck tends to like come up, and I kind of don't like that. It's unfortunate because I'm knitting a second one now, and I did not modify that. Had I worn this a little more before I cast that one on, I probably would have worked more short rows in the back to like raise the neck and push the front neck down a bit. But I don't hate it. It's just less comfortable than some of my other necklines. I tend to use more of this kind of neckline, like a scoop neckline, or something that's more like here along my collarbones. This one's more like here. And since it's supposed to be a warm weather tee, you kind of don't want something with that close of a neck. But it's fine. It's nice. It looks cute if I wear it with like denim shorts or whatever. It's fun. And I used 1 skein of the pink. 2 skeins maybe. I think I used 2 skeins exactly. And then I had 3, so I have 1 that's just kicking around. I don't know. But yeah, that was the Seagrass tee. Then this was my test knit for Samantha Guerin of the Seagrass Tank. I knit it out of Dear Thisbe from Plies and Hellhounds. I think it's on the Penny base or the Isaac base. Maybe the Isaac base. I think so, because Penny is a very thick yarn, and this one isn't. Anyway, it was from the book box for Red, White, and Royal Blue. Again, I don't love this color on me. It sort of washes me out, which is kind of unfortunate. But I'm trying to decide if I want to destash it or not. I may bring it to my Rhinebeck house and see if somebody wants it, because it just makes me look kind of sickly. And usually I can wear yellows, but this one is kind of more of like a butterscotch. It's a beautiful color too, but it just looks not great on me, which is unfortunate. But I do like the pattern. I picked up way fewer stitches on the arms or the arm sides than what was called for in the pattern, and I think she updated that when she published it to say some knitters found that they needed to pick up fewer stitches than what I called for. And then in the current test knit that I just finished, it was the opposite. They had to pick up a lot more than what it called for. So I don't know, but there you go. It's the Seagrass Tank. I love it. I would definitely knit another one, but in maybe a brighter color for summer. Okay. And I just got a 15% battery warning, so we're gonna speed it up. Okay. This was my Rhinebeck sweater for this year. This is the Salty Air Tee, but make it long sleeved. So I adapted the sleeves. The pattern does not have sleeves in it, but I wanted it to have sleeves, so I added sleeves. It's not hard. So when I knit Salty Air Tees, I omit one of the lace repeats from the chart, and that fits me really well and gives me not bat wings. I don't know, that part of me is just a little bit shorter, it seems like, than most people's. and that works for me. So I knit it out of the So Scarlet colorway by Plies and Hellhounds on the Selkie base, which is a non-superwash BFL and silk, I think. I know it's non-superwash, and it has silk. This is a colorway that Gabby is not dyeing anymore because she can't get one of the colors that's part of the mixture. But I love this maroon so much. And it's Taylor Swift inspired. Who doesn't love a good Taylor Swift inspiration? Oh my God, there goes stuff. Okay. This is the Old Beet Sweater by Marcella Chang. I knit this out of lots of discontinued yarn. Lang Yarn's Respect yarn and Juniper Moon Farms yarn 14. Yeah, 14. Juniper Moon Farms yarn 14. And I think this colorway is Shamrock. This colorway is Quartz. The gray I don't remember, and the pink I also don't remember. I had one skein of this pink, and I had literally a ball this big when I was done. So this was Yarn Chicken du jour. I had to purchase more of the green. I got it from a D-stash. It's been discontinued for years at this point, but someone in Alaska had some, and she was kind enough to sell it to me. So I did finish it, and I love it. It is poofy and lovely. This yarn is a blown yarn, so it's got, you know, like the tube and then like fibers blown into it. So it's kind of a merino alpaca, I think. Merino alpaca nylon. It's very nice though. It's warm, but it's very light. For that big of a sweater, it's a very, very light sweater, which is lovely. Then I made a sweater for my husband. So this is the So Basic Raglin. It is a pattern by Maxim Sear, who's Max the Knitter. I knit it basically as it was written. However, I think I added length to the yoke, maybe? I don't know. The sleeves are in 7x1 ribbing. The yarn that I used is Cece's wool in the honeybee colorway. And I used 2 skeins of the Cece's wool. Her fingering weight is like really huge hanks of yarn. So it only took 2 to make something for Josh, which was great. And then last, but definitely not least, was my test knit for the Salty Air Decay, also by Samantha Guerin. Not sponsored, just a fan. Apparently, I knit a lot of her stuff last year, which isn't surprising. I test knit for her a lot. So I test knit for this one. This is Plies and Hellhounds, Pole Decay, in the Alentia colorway. It's a Throne of Glass inspired colorway. I bought it after the Throne of Glass advent. She had pre-orders for all the colorways, and I got a sweater's quantity in this colorway. So I was happy that I knit it up last year. I originally knit the fitted sleeves, and I did not like them on me. I thought they were too tight, and I didn't wear the sweater at all. So I ripped out the sleeves, and I knit the unshaped ones. The pattern has both, so you can choose. So I went back and re-knit it with the ones without shaping, and I love it. Yeah, no other notes about it. It is basically the Salty Air tee, but in a DK weight. So I'll come a little closer. It's got this nice lace motif. Fewer repeats than on the fingering weight version, but otherwise it's the same motif. So there you go. And that, my friends, is everything that I knit in 2024. It was a lot. No, it isn't everything I knit. I lie. one more thing, and I'm gonna have to insert a picture because I gifted it. I made a coffee bean sweater for my coworker from my former job, who had a baby in the autumn, I think. No, it was the summer. And so I made it in the 9-month size, the 6 to 9 month size, so that when her baby was in the winter time, then she'd be able to wear it or be able to use it for him. I made it out of lots of different colors of the Spud and Chloe sweater yarn. I had a bunch of leftovers from different projects I had done over the years. And so I just picked kind of an autumnal palette, and I knit stripes, kind of thicker, chunky stripes. I went and got car buttons from my local yarn store, and it was right before they were moving to their new location. So I also got a bunch of sale yarn at the time. But it turned out really cute. I was really happy with it. And she did recently send me a text and said that he's been wearing it constantly and it is the perfect size for him, and sent me a super cute picture of him in it. So you can't ask for anything better than that, like it fits the baby at the right time of year and in the right temperatures. So now for realsies, that is everything that I knit in 2024. So I am going to leave you with that because I'm gonna record a different episode probably after I get back from my trip, where I talk through what I have cast on so far in the 12 cast-ons 2025, and go through some of my whips. I've also ripped some stuff out because I was like, I'm never gonna knit this, I'm not gonna finish it. So I just took the needles out and repurposed them. So yeah, I think it would be a good time for the next one to do a little bit of a whip rundown and talk about my 12 cast-ons so far. So far I've cast on 5 or 6 things, I think. That sounds right. So it's a nice mix, like socks, mittens, a couple sweaters. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, feel free to comment. How much did you finish in 2024? Did you finish anything? Did you finish nothing? What was your favorite thing that you made in 2024? Let me know. I love to hear from all of you. And yeah, I will see you guys back in maybe 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks, depending on if I can record like right when I get back, or my oldest has midterms. I keep wanting to say finals, but it's midterms the week after I get back, so that weekend may be like me helping with studying and stuff, so I may not be able to swing recording a podcast. But until we do get a chance to talk to each other again, I hope you get to do some things that you enjoy, and yeah, take care of yourselves. Stay warm if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And I will talk to you all soon.